Okay, here what we have is an example of a body paragraph that a student in my class did, Lois Bellamy. As you can see, the instruction was that we needed to construct a body paragraph for Dr. Jekyll. And what we did is we had an extract, and the question, as you can see here, is so Stephen makes the extract a year. Such a shocking moment in the text by using pathetic fallacy. So what the actual question was, if I can switch this over, I'm going to make this smaller now. The actual question was, okay, how does Stevenson make this such a shocking moment in the text? Okay, so that right there is the question. Okay, how does Stevenson make this such a shocking moment in the text? And I think that's important that you realize that. Because as we're going to continue going through this, that's going to be quite important for us moving forward. Okay, I'm just going to move that because the major thing is that's quite important with that as well is we look at this kind of idea of this actual question. The major thing you need to focus on is this idea of shocking moment. Shocking, shocking, shocking. Okay, that's the most important thing there. Okay, we're going to move that over. I'm going to erase some of this stuff that I've done. So if I can find the eraser, where is it? Let's do the undo. 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 There we go. Okay. And what we're going to focus on here, what we did is we actually made a focal point, found some evidence, and then we talked about how it links to other areas of the text. And what Louise has done here so brilliantly well, if I can just show you, because what we're going to talk about are the elements of this paragraph that make it really good. So right in the beginning, I'll just read it. It says, Stevenson makes this extract such a shocking moment in the text by using pathetic fallacy to shroud the brutal death of Sir Danvers Carew with horror. So what's actually immediately happened there, immediately a very good point that I want you to pay attention to is, once again, let me just zero in on here, is we have this idea that it's a shocking moment. Okay? So what's good is that she has used the language of the question in her focal point. That's a really good thing to do. Okay, now moving on. Moving on to the second part of this, it says that he introduces the scene by describing the landscape a fog rolled over. Once again, another excellent point here is what she's done is she's got some evidence here, right? And not just a big chunk of evidence. What she's done is she's selected precisely a small, precise piece of evidence that can be interwoven imaginatively into your work. And you have to do that to get a higher grade. Okay? So erase that. Okay. Next thing that she does very well here is she continues by saying to set the scene in the shocking incident. The adverb rolled, what's great there is that she's naming the technique. And she's once again putting precise to the point. That's excellent. And then we have this kind of key word right here, suggests, which shows that she's analyzing, which is really good. Okay, moving forward now, suggests that the energy with this scene is a rolling action, evokes speed as it is smooth word which rolls off your tongue because of the double I's. Now what's great there is what Lois has done is she's actually used another word that helps you describe, and that is because. you always want to explain your analysis in detail. And when I mean explain your analysis in detail, it's very important that you essentially answer 2 questions when you analyze. You always answer these questions. I'll bring this up to the top so you can see. The first question you want to always answer when you explain, okay, when you explain, the first thing you want to do, number 1, is you always want to say, how? Make sure you've done that. Have you always explained how something has an effect? That's very important. Okay, how it's done. Okay, how is it conveyed? The second thing that's very important is also why. Okay, why does, in this case, Stevenson do this? That's very important to convey to the audience, to the reader, I'm sorry, that you know that. And that's going to make your analysis a lot more mature. So make sure you're always doing that continually throughout your essay. Just getting rid of all this stuff. Okay, back to looking at the essay. We're going to go down to the bottom here. Okay, right here. Okay, so I was just about right around here where it says because. Because it does. This also suggests another great thing. We have a multiple analysis. Okay, great thing. Do that. This also suggests the impending doom within the scene as the fog rolling across the city represents Hyde coming and also his vicious nature. Okay, and what Lois has done here is that we actually are starting to see here, okay, some things like whole text knowledge. Okay, we're starting to see why that's done later on because we see how this scene connects to the future. Really good. Okay, moving along, sorry. By saying the fog is falling, it makes the audience anticipate Hyde's arrival and creates suspense as you know Hyde will commit a crime. Okay, a couple of key things. Once again, she is explaining with the word because. Another good thing that she does is she uses this word audience to talk about the effect. Now the one thing that with this that would make it better, if she actually said audience, she said reader. Okay? In A View from the Bridge, you can talk about audience, but in this text, you have to talk about the reader. Okay? Now, so, basically, I'm just going to summarize a couple of my comments right here at the top, because I think it's quite important. Now, Lois is writing for this piece, got an A grade. Okay? Now, her target, though, was to have more links to the question. Okay? And she needs to do that at the end of the essay. There's actually a second page to this that I'm going to bring up now. And then you're going to see that in the second page, she doesn't really answer the question towards the end. And that's what needs to be done. So here we go. Okay, let's just take this, this. Okay, turn it around so you can see it. Okay, so it continues right here. Going to get the eraser. There we go. So we can erase some of that. Okay, so it continues right here. And once again, we have the extensive analysis. What she's done is she's got some cloud rolled in here, some more of this. We have some more analysis here where this emphasizes the clarity event. This shows we have some more analysis right here. Okay. All right. So she's doing a lot of very good things here. And if we just drag through right to the bottom here, what we're going to find is my comments. And so great things that she did. Number 1, links to other areas of the text. Okay, that was great. Number 2, okay, precision when analyzing language, very critical of language. Now the main target for her, however, to get this up to an A-star grade or A-star grade body paragraph is it needs to develop a sharper focus on the question towards the end of the paragraph. Okay? That's the main thing she had to do. That's the only thing she had to do to get a really high grade in this piece. Absolutely the only thing. Okay? Now, I just want to conclude with a couple of comments that I think are quite important. I was looking at these essays, I was looking at these paragraphs, and I said to myself, well, these are really good. But I do think there's some things that as a class we could actually say are kind of tips that you need to always do, and we can apply this to Of Mice and Men. So, I'm just going to put down some tips. I'm going to put down must for writing must. Sorry. Body paragraph must. Okay? Number one thing, focus response. Okay? That's the number one thing. Make sure you always link back to the question. Answer the question and provide a focal point. And I would say in your essay, if you're going to have body paragraphs, you should have probably at least 3 or 4 body paragraphs. So 3 or 4 focuses that you develop. Number 2, second thing she does, kind of precise when talking about and using evidence. Okay? We need to have that kind of, we need to have the analysis. Okay? Got to kind of have some kind of whole text knowledge. Okay? And then last but not least, let's make sure that we also kind of talk about the audience or reader. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. If these things get done, let me just bring them down here. Okay, if these 4 or 5 things get done, even in Of Mice and Men, you're going to be doing very well. So if I kind of just look at this, Mice and Men, we could also do this for Of Mice and Men. Okay? Mice and Men, we could also do this. Mice and Men, analysis. Okay? Mice and Men, with this one, it wouldn't be the reader. I'm sorry, no, let me take that back. It would be the reader. Okay? It would be the reader. So Mice and Men, we can also do this. Okay? But the only things we need to add with Of Mice and Men is we need to add, number 1, okay, context. That's the main thing. That's the only thing really we need, because we can also do whole text knowledge. Okay? So I guess the reason why I did this is because I was looking through these books, and a lot of these paragraphs for Jekyll and Hyde for some reason were excellent. And I think there's something to be said about what was done in that class, because these are really good paragraphs. And let's just apply the same knowledge that we have to what we're writing, and then do very well. Okay, that's going to be it. So I want you to apply these skills to your writing. Thanks.